rack, chassis twister, whatever you want to call it, but it's pretty dramatic. So Mercedes, being what they are, is they go the extra mile and making things super stiff. Over 5,000 welds in these chassis. So as we work our way up on here, so we got the right front completely in the air. I can open and close my door, no problem at all. I just want to reset my camera. You can see I'm getting a little to the right, so I want to bring it back over to the left. See how nice and clear you can see? Just keep working. So all that noise you hear, that's the ETS, that's the ABS, everything is working. The DSR is primarily through the ABS system. Okay, your traction control actually uses ABS, ETS, ESP, it uses all of them by adjusting your brakes. Right now, left front's in the air. Try and get it to balance a little bit for you. So left front is way in the air right now. So at any time I can open actually all 5 doors in this and they'll close without any trouble at all. We work down off of here. Alright, so we're going to go to our data screen. This is data screen, shows you a bunch of stuff. It shows ramp angle, which is your side angle. You'll see it change. So these won't roll till about a 30-degree angle. Actually, it's probably more than that, but they advertise 30. So this just monitors if you're off-roading and see what you do. This is your uphill, downhill, incline. This is basically indicating we're in low range with the gear in the red. And then steering angle. You see this one here is steering angle. So it'll give you a lot of cool things on the data screen. So as we head to our, put the camera back on, is our little rock climb. So again, this is really where the ETS, the 4 ETS and traction control come into play. When you go into the low range modes and stuff like that, it changes what I call the mapping or the sensing. Typically these things are monitoring wheels 30 times a second. So it's monitoring what's going on with your wheels to make all your systems work. When you go into the low range, it changes it to 18 times a second. Basically slowing the system down because of the large gaps. You get a situation like this with the large gaps in the rocks. You want it to be able to analyze at a slower pace, and that's what it essentially does. It helps keep wheel spin down, helps the ABS work. Now this is probably the one and only spot that you won't use your DSR. I will use the brakes because we're leaving the rocks. I mean, with all these big gaps, we want to still be controlling the brakes. And if I could use DSR, but it would be a very, very bumpy ride.
You're controlling the brakes?
I'm using the brakes right now. Because if I do DSR, I'll do it when we get off of this. You'll see how different it is. We're in a straight line. I don't do it because of the turn. Yeah. But if I come off of it here, it gets a lot rougher. Because the DSR it's engaging and disengaging at a faster speed. All right, our Alabama hot tub. So this is about 18 inches of water. These will ford. Water fording is basically how deep you can go through water. This is about 18 inches. These will do just under 24 inches. The exact number is 23.6, where you won't get any water in the vehicle. None of the systems will be affected. Then obviously if you're pulling a boat out of the lake, plenty of traction, plenty of ground clearance as we crest this little hill. And
how smooth they are.
Now this is, I guess will depend on part of the country you're from. These potholes are about a foot deep, so we'll call it New Jersey potholes. But you can actually feel the vehicle as we crawl through it. You'll feel it teeter. That's how deep they are. So we're actually loading the suspension. So as we go through it, you'll watch. One of the wheels will go into full bump, like right here. I'm full bump, full droop. So we're using all the suspension travel as we work through this. And notice how flat it stays. That's how well that system works. Independent rear suspension. And it's got about, right now it's about 12 inches of ground clearance when it's set in its highest mode. It's roughly 12 inches. Then our Mercedes rock. The GL and ML have the tightest turning radius in their class. This is 40.8 feet turning radius. So it gets around the rock very easily. Notice there's no binding in the suspension. There's no ratcheting in the vehicle with the open diffs. Because the old theory used to be the only way to do it was with locked differentials to go off-roading. With the new systems now, the way they're able to transfer power from spinning wheels to wheels with traction, you don't need locked differentials. And this is a perfect demonstration for it. You notice the ramp, as it gets rolling up on there, the left side wheels lose traction. Yeah. Then the left side and the right front lose traction, then the left side and the right rear lose traction. Notice how seamlessly this thing applies the power to the wheel with traction as we go. I'll wait till it gets over the top because I get a little aggressive here. So as we roll up on it, I'll get on the gas. So we're spinning, right front, right rear,
That's crazy.
and then you'll feel it just take off. All of a sudden it gains traction and it takes right off. So it's pretty dramatic how it does it, but you can't feel it in the vehicle because it's so seamless. It is really amazing how it transfers the power. All right, so again, I'm going to my camera because I don't know where I'm going. So I want to line myself up. Again, DSR, nice and slow down the hill. Again, I can click it down to slow it down. That's 3, that's 2. It'll almost bring me to a stop. If I go to 1, it'll just about stop the vehicle. All done with DSR. All right, so this little hill here, it's about, depending on where I stop, it'll be between 45 and 50 degrees, and I'm going to show you
Both vehicles are fast.
two functions. First one is hill hold assist. So when I go to the brake pedal, it'll stop me and hold me. So I hit the brake quick, it'll pause for a second, and then we'll roll back. That's hill hold assist. So when you come to a hill, it's steep, you hit the brake, it'll keep you there. It just gives you time to get off the brake to the gas pedal to roll forward before it goes rolling backwards into somebody. Then hill hold, if I can get it, sometimes it won't engage back to back. So it'll get really steep, so hit once. So see it light up, hill hold, I'm off the brake pedal. It's sitting here by itself, and we're right at 50 degrees. Okay, so if I want the vehicle to move, I go to the throttle. There's about a 1.5 second delay, so I just start to pick up the throttle. It senses it's got enough torque.
Well,
No trouble at all, just starts rolling forward.
how does Jeep compare to this?
I honestly haven't driven the new. What I want to do is get into a Cherokee. Just get my camera set up here because we're a little far to the right, I'm going to assume. Actually, we're not. I haven't driven in one, to be honest with you.
Because that's what Jeeps are meant for, right?
Go over the rise. You notice we didn't bottom out there. A normal GL without the package would just touch because it doesn't have the extra ground clearance, so it just touches. Again, diagonal railroad ties, fairly smooth ride, a little faster speed. And then our diagonal railroad tracks. If you ever drove over them with a locked diff, it would actually make the vehicle go the angle of the railroad tracks because it's independent and the computer's sensing what's what. It makes it a fairly seamless transition as we walk over that. All right, so we're going to head to our off-road course.